Hi and welcome to tutorial number 18. This tutorial will explain the new feature we've added to Keyword Perfect for the Alamy Excel Spreadsheet export. This function exports a Alamy Excel spreadsheet made to the specifications of Alamy. So instead of copying and pasting the keywords into the online submission page, you can email them an Excel spreadsheet. And you see that it's got the keywords, but it also has these fields that Alamy wants filled in, such as a property release or license type and all these kind of other fields that they have. So we have created a new screen called the Alamy screen, and it contains the keywords, but down in this blue box it creates those specific fields that Alamy wants. You can see in these fields that the fields with red labels must be filled in, and we make sure that you fill them all in. And you fill them in with the drop-down boxes that have the specifications of what they want. Now be aware that there are three fields here that are calculations based on what you enter in the entry screen. That is location, number of people, and picture type. For picture type, if you put in the image, something or color image, duotype, or sepia, it'll give you a P for picture. And if you enter a black and white illustration or color illustration, it'll put in an I for illustration. In the number field, if you put in a people number, 5 people, 2 people, group, 1 elderly man only, the program will fill in with that number in the number of people box in the Alamy information. Be aware that you can enter more than one number, and for the Alamy data, it will put in the last entry that you put in, so you have to be careful about what that is if there are people in the picture. Same works down here for famous places. That goes in the location box. And we can see that over here. So there's the location, number of people, and picture type. Also be aware that the date is a European configuration with the day first, and then the month, and then the year, and it has to be 0 filled. So you can see you got to put the 0 in front of the February of 2. Now there are a number of ways to fill in this information. One of them, you can fill in all these fields for the first picture, and then we give you a find button so you can find kind of similar images. So I can find all the images that have a property release of NA, and I find those 14 out of 21. Or I can find all the pictures that have Tucson in the location, and I click that button and find these 4. So if I want to, say, take the date and copy it to all 4 of these images, then I would click on this button, copy that, the date to the date taken field, and I say copy. Or if I want to copy all of the data from this image to all 4, then I say copy all data, which copies all the field except for the number of people and the unique reference number. So I'm going to cancel that for now. And then in here is my unique reference number, which if I put a real number in here, I can add a sequential series of numbers to all the images. So I go here, and we say yes. And then you'll see in the other ones, it's 35, that's 36, that's 37 down there. Now there are other ways in which I can add this data, other images, and that we're going to show you is in the preferences. We've added new preferences. One of them is to the default export method. I can now make Alamy Excel Spreadsheet my default export method, so that will show up after I've processed the images. The other is that I can copy Alamy Excel data when I copy my generators, or when I clear generators, I will also clear the Excel data. That means so when I'm copying or cloning things, I'm also copying the Alamy data with it. and you can choose whether you want to have that happen or not. So I do that, and I get this message that reminds me that I have to have make Alamy compliant keywords checked, or else these will not work. So I go over here to keywords, make Alamy Excel compliant keywords, and then I can have these checked, and I say save. And what that means is when I go to Cloner, and I clone this image to that when I'm doing that, I'm also cloning the Alamy information. So there it is there. The other thing is that when I click on the copy from previous, Control 4, that when I'm copying the generators, that I'm also copying the Alamy information. And finally, when I process all the images, that after processing, one of the first options I get is that I can export the Alamy Excel spreadsheet right away. We hope people find this helpful. It's another option for the Alamy photographers to submit their keywords. And you can see that I go Excel. I can choose the old Excel, or I can choose the newer Excel file. I hit Control V, I put in my batch name, and I can also create an email with the file attachment, so that if I say save, oops, I've already got one, so I replace it, and it puts in my Excel, and then I can email it to my to Alamy if I wish. All right, and that's pretty much explains it all, and thank you very much, and have a good day.